Namaste, Jai Bharat. What happens around in geopolitics is utterly confusing and so uncertain, and nobody knows who's doing what and where things are going. This, of course, is the ground reality. It appears that one nation is targeting the other, whereas the real target is something else or someone else. Now, this is very, very interesting and deep and complicated really to understand. But those who target, they know whom they are targeting, and those who also got targeted realize that they are the real target, not others. The whole thing is for money, power politics. It's very clear that America, as they used to do for some time in between, that's post Second European War, had been having their say and to great extent dominating the world. It remains a fact, and America still is very powerful nation. Initially, it was the former Soviet Union, which the American deep state that time actually has effectively destroyed, and a Nobel Prize was flipped over to Gorbachev, and you know the story is there, the history, and Soviet Union is no more. Then that time the Americans appears to be very short-sighted people. They have no long understanding through time. That's what I personally feel. You may agree, disagree, that's up to you. So they thought with the collapse of former Soviet Union, they are really the boss in the world. But Soviet Union collapsed. They fragmented to different states like Ukraine onwards. But subsequently what we see today is Russia. Of course, Russia was always the center and root and master of Soviet Union. Russia single-handedly assuming the former role of Soviet Union, and that is increasing. So then Russia appears to be the target of America. In the meantime, China, a nation which is more structured than loose democracy. In democracy, you don't find such structured states. A strong nation, of course, is a nation is more strong when it is structured through a one single kind of rule, though it is not an ideal kind of ruling system. But the fact remains that such nations can progress, such nations can become strong, provided the dictatorship is benevolent. So that's why political science students are taught that benevolent dictatorship is the best possible route, but then benevolent dictatorship depends on a benevolent individual which has no guarantee. So that's why ultimately we all get boiled down to democracy as the best possible system in the world. There's no doubt about it. But this benevolent dictatorship is very powerful for the people also, and also in the world. They become very strong. So China is almost that. China has made a deadly combination of communist structure and capitalist economy. This I don't think anybody has ever thought. But then slowly things evolved to that. If the communism so-called has to survive, it has to go through capitalist economy. And the communism is only good for structure, in the sense authority, power, and kind of strict rule, rigid rule, and strong nations. They maintain such discipline. Let me call it as discipline in all fair language. They are much more disciplined. There's no anarchy. It's not possible for a foreign deep state to operate into a nation which is following communist principles of ruling through stories, narratives. You see what happened in Bharat. There was a Citizen Amendment Act agitation for Rafi. Very spurious, but it did take place. Everyone understands it. It did take place. Then there is sudden farmer agitation, and there is no farmer to be seen in the agitation. There are all paid people who had a kind of festivity There's an automated chapati making machine. Evening liquor is given. Everything is free. And who spends the money for this? Of course, there are people with given interest. These things cannot happen in a communist structure. This happens only in democratic structure. And look at an opposition leader who openly and blatantly insults his own nation, which has no reality within it. For example, dead economy. Someone says Bharat is a dead economy, and suddenly the opposition person says that, "Now I am thankful to him." It is true. Everyone, even child who has some understanding of this, understands how Bharat is a fast-growing economy. And somebody says dead economy. This man is trying to celebrate that. Now, is he not celebrating his own ignorance, or is he not celebrating his own vested focused interest of his personal gain, politics, etc.? Such kind of things happens. Now, China is such a nation with the communist rigidity of discipline. I'm only focusing on discipline. Other things I'm not focusing right now. The communist rigidity of discipline and the economy of capitalism can become very authoritatively powerful. So, in time, the US, they have thought former Soviet Union, is their only threat. Then suddenly they see China, for all kinds of reasons that emerging as an authority and power. So actually, the focus or the target is China. It's neither Russia nor Bharat. Target is China. So, but they don't attack China directly. They don't dare, for all reasons, So they try to focus Russia, and there also they don't dare now. They can make all kinds of sanctions. It has been running for years and nothing really happened. And now Bharat putting sanction in an expectation that the others will get affected. Others will become, they get onto their guard. But what really happened in reality is that these three are joining together, these three come together. The possibility of these three joining together becomes an inevitable phenomena in geopolitics. And with these three, that's Russia, China, Russia, India, China, the so-called RIC. First of all, Russia, Bharat have no differences. China, Bharat have no real serious differences, except some petty border issues. I'll call it as petty border issues because it can be sorted out without much effort, I'm sure. Once that is overlooked, there is no personal difference. That again apart, the people of Bharat, and they have historical connections with China, historical, traditional, cultural, religious connections. Same thing with the people of Russia and Bharat. We have historical connections, relations, emotional relations. It's only the rule that has differences, not the people. So it's easy for the rule to put their hands together. This is going to make a lot of changes for tomorrow, for tomorrow's world. Anything can happen. Let's not speculate. Let me not speculate. I leave such speculations to each one of you happen to listen. Don't you think it's interesting to watch where the world is going, who is going to do what? Every day something new comes to you. Every day something new and strange comes to you. People expect something and something else happens. Someone says something and something else is happening. Now this is what makes, shall I say, the world life dynamic and living. But the people endure a lot of things. That's much different story, where if you focus, that's going to be history. So we shall meet again. Namaste. Jai Bharat, Jai Sri Ram.